Hi guys, today I'm going to be making some fermented hot sauce and I'll be showing you how to make it. I also will have instructions on how to make it, more detailed instructions on my website, so I'll have a link for that in the description box. But I've actually been wanting to make fermented hot sauce all year, and I'm really not kidding about that because I started growing pepper seeds from seed in January. So if you haven't planted peppers before, they take a long time to grow. So you plant them in my area from seed indoors in January, and then you transplant them outside in May. I've been growing them all summer, and as they have matured and ripened, I will pick them. They only ripen like a couple at a time. So I pick them and stick them in the freezer because there's just not enough at one time to make a batch of hot sauce. So I've been freezing them all summer and storing them in the freezer, and now I just remembered to pull them out and make fermented hot sauce. So there are different ways to make hot sauce. There are different types of hot sauce. So I'm going to be giving you a base recipe, and then you can add your own stuff to it to make it the way that you want it. And you can make it various degrees of spiciness. So if you like a more mild hot sauce, you're going to add some more carrots to your hot sauce when you go to ferment the peppers. You're going to throw some carrots in there. But if you like just like straight heat like me, then you're going to just ferment the peppers. And so I started out about 2 weeks ago. I started fermenting my peppers. And if you watched my harvesting video that I did like a few weeks ago, I pulled the whole pepper plant out, and I grew some Buena Malta peppers. They're from Baker Creek, if you're wondering, and they're very beautiful. They have purple, orange, like a peachy color, and red hues. And when they reach the red stage, that's when they're at their most spicy. If you pick them when they're purple, they look beautiful, but they're going to be more mild. There's not going to be as much heat. And so when I went to go pull my plant out, a lot of them on the plant were purple. So I have a smaller jar here with the purple ones in it, and then in the bigger one I have the red ones. And it was interesting though, as I was watching them ferment, some of the purple ones turned red as they fermented, but a lot of them that were like true purple, they fermented into a white color, which is interesting. And then some of the red ones turned kind of orange as they were fermenting. So it was really interesting to watch things ferment because they do change color as they ferment. And when you go to ferment peppers, you're going to make a saltwater brine similar to how you make pickles. And the recipe is 1 teaspoon of salt per 1 cup of water. So if you have a half-gallon jar like this, you might want to do about 5 or 6 cups. And you might not use all that, but it's good to just have the brine ready. So I made sure to dissolve the salt in the water and then let it cool down, and then pour it in the jar and add the peppers. I also add garlic to the sauce. It is going to taste really good with the garlic in it. And then of course you will add carrots if you want it to be a more milder sauce. So now our peppers have fermented, and what I'm going to do in a second here is I'm going to put the peppers into the blender, and I want to make sure that I separate my red ones from the purple ones that are now whitish green color. And I'm going to put the red ones in there and the garlic, and then I'm going to reserve some of the brine and I'll pour that in there as needed. And that will make a good hot sauce base. And then I'm thinking about adding, I'm going to taste it first, but I'm thinking about adding some lime juice and cilantro. And I think it's going to be a really nice tangy hot sauce. so delicious and it tastes so good. Like I want to keep eating it, but it's so spicy that I have to like slow down. Like I need a glass of water right now. But I am really, really happy with this result. This is almost like 10 months or so in the making. And it's I want to say disappointing, but I know next year I'm definitely going to put more plants in my garden. I really love the flavor of these Buena Malta peppers, and they're really beautiful to watch when they're growing. So I really recommend these peppers, and this hot sauce will store in the fridge for months, maybe 6 months. I don't know. I haven't really had a lot of ferments last longer than 6 months because they usually get eaten, but it should last for months in the fridge when it's fermented. So there are different flavor combinations that you can try when you are making this hot sauce, and I'll have a link in the description box with different ideas that you can try out. So if you're looking for something a little bit more beyond your favorite hot sauce, then check that out. But just the base recipe with the garlic and the peppers is delicious. It has a really nice smoky, almost like a smoked paprika kind of smell with the garlic in it. And these peppers I'm using are a cayenne type of pepper, so they're really spicy. And of course you can always add carrots to make it more mild. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with the brine yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it for other ferments, or I might just add it to soups or something like that to give it a little more spice, because it's going to have a little bit of a spiciness to it. So those are some ideas. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. And just to give you an idea, this is just from one pepper plant. I actually had 2 that I was going to put in, but the one I accidentally snapped it in half when I went to transplant it. The main stem snapped, and I was so disappointed because I would have had like 2 jars right now. But I'm just happy, to have this jar. It's so yummy. But yeah, definitely going to be planting more pepper plants next year. And of course, you can use store-bought peppers. I would recommend using organic peppers though. So if you have any questions, please be sure to leave them in the comments down below, and please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I do a lot of fermented foods. So I recently did a fermented berries recipe back in February, and I have fermented pickles, I have sauerkraut. So if you're interested in any of that, if you're interested in fermented dairy, I have recipes as well. I do a little bit of sourdough. I've been taking a break for a little while, but I probably will get back into it soon. So please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again. Be well, guys.